Who do you have that's healthy right now for practice?
Well, I've talked to a couple of the GAs. Talked to Taylor Goldnay, and I think he can lose 30 or 40 pounds, and we can line him up into the boundary. And if not, what are you doing this weekend?
You don't want that.
No, you know what? At that position, I've not been a place where the roster has been stacked. I'm always, especially in the spring, I'm always accustomed to operating with a skeleton crew, and you know it kind of goes into how you train those guys because you want to train them with a certain level of toughness. You want to train them with a certain next man up mentality, and because we don't have anybody else, that's perfect. You're up, and that's just it, you know. But at the end of the day, you kind of want to be smart, and that's what Coach and I talk about. You want to be smart because you only have so many. You know, you only have so many vertical routes in your body, and as you can see mine, you can tell I'm done with vertical routes. Right? I'm only dealing with 1 yard smoke screens, but. So you got to be smart, and you got to make sure that you take care of them because we still have a long ways to go in the spring. Uh, but I'm excited about the guys taking the injuries and taking different guys who might not be full speed, taking that in stride because the guys who can't be full speed, they've taken nearly every rep in a safe way. The trainers are monitoring them and to make sure that they don't overstep the bounds. But you gotta practice to be able to improve. But we as coaches, you know, we don't want to risk any injury to guys, you know, putting them out there in an unsafe situation.
Speaking of guys you've used back there, nothing's more entertaining to me this spring than Blake Lynch being at corner or safety, whatever you got him going at right now. How's he done?
Well, you've been entertained by that? Blake would love to hear that because I yell at Blake just for no reason, but I really like him. I'm really excited. You know, when Blake steps out there, he makes my. I said, Blake, listen. I coached a lot of DBs, but I never coached a kicker lining up at DB. So you make a lot of gray hairs. But man, he doesn't come to any meetings. He has no clue what he's doing from a schematic standpoint. I yell at him. I tell him, "You're in the third, Blake. You got him man to man, Blake," and he's as happy as he can be just to be out there. And you know, honestly, college football is about a lot of stuff, but to me, it's about that. It's about giving that kid the opportunity to go out and just have fun. And he and I have more fun than anybody out there because he don't have the stress of Coach Malone yelling at him. Yeah, I yell at him, but he knows it's all in fun. So I don't think you'll be seeing Blake line up in the bowl game. That would be pretty cool to get him out there, though, but uh, I don't want to hurt our kicker. So it's kind of a scary moment when I see him out there most times.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. The roster says he's 5'4". Is that a lie?
I never want to call our roster a lie, but whoever wrote that, they might get struck down. Blake is closer to 4'4", and that's his 40 speed as well, right? He's 4'4" and he's 4'4".
Very good. Who has jumped out at you this spring?
The guy who, I mean, that I've been most impressed with has been AJ. Of course, you know, he has the most experience. So let's take him out of it. And I say that Cameron Key and Darrell Patterson have been. I mean, like I was telling somebody that, you know, Darrell Patterson is a senior. It's time. You know, the thing I say to an older guy is, okay, it's time. You know how to find the library, right? It's time for you to now come into your own and become a player. Most of the time, guys who come from junior college, it takes your second year from junior college is when you wake up, you know, and that's what I kind of see in him. I've talked to AJ about being more of a vocal leader. You know, he's the only guy in my room who's played in a bowl game. And with that comes a responsibility to be a leader, not just in our room, but across the team, in the locker room. And I think, you know, when you do the right things, you're able to do that. People will listen. You know, now if you're skipping classes and you're missing weights and you're a guy that doesn't practice hard, okay, you can't say much in the way of leadership. But I think he's a guy who's paid his dues, and I look to him to begin to carry the mantle of leadership on our team.
When you look at film of him from last year, is his big thing maybe honing in on consistency, snap to snap, being good, and not having that little error that turns into a big play?
Well, at that position, that's all. That's all it takes is just a little error, and the band is playing, and it's not our band. And so when guys understand that I always say that it's like your job is like you dismantle bombs. That's what we do, right? One wrong move, and it all goes. You clip the right wires all day long, right? But then one wrong wire, you suck. You know what I mean? That's just the life, and that's probably why I'm going to get off. I'm not going to be a defensive coach. When in 17 years, I'm going to switch to offense. I think I'm going to coach the tight ends, right? Because those guys, you coach offense, you can punt, right? But on defense, every play, and at that position, every play is vital. And that one mistake is the one that has the drum major flipping. You know what I mean? And that's not what we want, of course. So back to AJ. That's what we're working for is consistency, but within the group, is a high level of consistency and an understanding that man, you only got one play, to be bad. You have to continue to stack the good ones time and time again, which is difficult to do. But when the people load into that stadium, they don't care, right? They don't care that you were good on this play and this play. They don't want you ever to be bad. And that's, like I said, that's why it's so fun. That's why it's so much fun to be a cornerback.